The poem of the Plains Indians. This is for American West GCSE by Mr. Reed. The Plains Indian story is full of woe, no more land or buffalo. From east to west the tribes were pressed, victims of destiny manifest. For us the story does begin with Indians who did live within the eastern states where white resent met to the west those tribes were sent. Jackson penned the Removal Act, Congress ethnic cleansing backed, so Choctaw, Seminole and Cherokee were sent west to the Indian Territory. The Trail of Tears their journey named, for many deaths the whites were blamed, until at last a new home they found, flat plains with grassland all around. The Indian Trade and Intercourse Act, an 1834 signed pact, the Indian frontier was recognised to separate those savage from civilised. America in the east, with Indians west, what Washington felt for all was best. 48 brought tribes a new fresh blow, when America fought a war with Mexico. Taking land on the west coast, a continent the Yanks could boast, but now the government faced a riddle, whites both sides, Indians in the middle. As pioneers and miners set sail, many more of them used the Oregon Trail to cross the Indian Territory gifted to Indian tribes who wouldn't be shifted. So in 1851, Plain Tribes chiefs were told to come. Laramie's Fort would be the place for Indians to get reservation space. So it began, the white man's word proved false, and violence then was stirred. Money and food met as the reward did not arrive, Indian pleas ignored. The treaty also changed the plains, as surveyors came to plan for trains. From east to west the rails would go, disrupting the movement of buffalo. Then cattle ranching came along, cows eating grassland all day long. The buffalo had no food to eat, the hunting tribes could find no meat. Little Crow a war did fight to save his people from the plight of starving on the reservation. He raided stores for preservation. Settlers killed, white farms burned, the attention of the army earned. Revenge was swift, with cruel intent, to barren land the Sioux were sent. Worse was to follow at Sand Creek, Shivington's men a slaughter did seek. Black Kettle signed peace, his fears abated, only to witness his dead mutilated. Gold also cursed the Plain Tribe's life, its discovery led to more struggle and strife. Along Bozeman's trail the miners did come, Red Cloud's patience with white men was done. Not wishing to be relocated once more, Red Cloud led his people to war. Attacking the army they caused quite a flap, when Fetterman led his men into a trap. The Sioux blocked off the forts and trail, Second Laramie Treaty government did unveil. Great Sioux Reservation is yours, they were told, traditional hunting until they found gold. When to the north the railway came, Custer escorting is mostly to blame. The Black Hills had gold, the general said. The following war left his men and he dead. The government offered for the hills gold, but the sacred Black Hills were not to be sold. Removing the Sioux would then happen by force, but resistance was met, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse. Thousands of Indians in a huge mobile village did the army hope to destroy and pillage. Custer led cavalry into attack, neither he or his men would ever come back. With the Battle of the Little Big Horn, a new legend of the Wild West was born. Revenge for the fallen, America's shout. The army returned, Sioux hopes were wiped out. Smaller and smaller reservations became, hunters killing off buffalo and game, entirely reliant on the government food, with fatal intent the hostilities pursued. Indian schools set up for their young, English and Jesus left traditions unsung. The Dawes Act that gave each family land, its aim to prevent a tribal stand. Blackmailed by starvation, left with no chance, the Indians desperately sought the ghost dance, a vision of the white men all swallowed, with Indians returning and buffalo followed. An uprising feared, Sitting Bull shot down dead, his followers to Bigfoot's hostiles then fled. Caught by the army, not allowed to be free, massacred in cold blood at Wounded Knee. Our Plains Indian story is now done, but for the survivors life was no fun. Reservations continue, new threats have arisen, drugs, alcohol, violence, and many in prison. Thank you.